everyone, I'm Allie with PotomacBeads.com and PotomacBeads.eu. I want you to join me today as we learn how to do a quick bezel setting with our RounDuo beads featuring a 24mm cab. If you need any of the materials, keep in mind that we have the list at the beginning, the exact colors listed at the end, or you can go below the video to the links that are provided to gather your materials from us online. So to begin our design for the Ottoman Pendant, what I'm going to do is add one 11/0 seed bead to act as a stop bead that's going to stop the beads from falling off as we create this nice, simple RounDuo bezel. So I have the 11 that eventually will come off, and I'm just going around through that 2 times, just leaving enough space that I can kind of tie a knot there at the end. We're going to begin by doing 8 RounDuo beads in the pastel lilac color that are going to sit separated by an 11/0 seed bead, which the 11/0 seed bead that I have selected is the Miyuki seed bead in the black full chrome, which is a check coating on the Miyuki bead. So again, we're going to make a loop of 8, and that is going to be the starter of our round setting for the bezel to sit in. The nice thing is this bezel is very quick, and you don't have to take a lot of time from making the jewelry. You can kind of make it last minute even if you need to match an outfit. So you want to make sure that you have an 11/0 between each of your RounDuo beads, and you want to make sure that the last bead that you have, that an 11/0 sits between the RounDuo. Because what we're going to go do is back to the beginning of the RounDuo, we're going to do this circular peyote where we're going to step up. I'm going to go back through the first RounDuo, the first 11/0, and the second RounDuo through the same hole that I just picked them up. We're going to do a simple step up now. To step up, I want you to take your thread and needle from the bottom hole of that RounDuo that you're coming out of to the top hole of the RounDuo. When you come out of the top hole of the RounDuo, I want you to give a nice little tight yank on your thread to make sure to really pull in that RounDuo look. To create the next row of our bezel, we're going to simply add in a RounDuo in the space between each of the existing RounDuos in the same color. So we're going to add 8 more RounDuos, picking up a RounDuo, and then sewing into the second hole of the first 8 RounDuos. So you're going to end up with 16 of these purple ones at the end of this row, going through and just adding in 1 into every space. I'm not using any seed beads. I'm simply adding my RounDuo beads in between the actual spacing. So as I go through and add these in, we're just going to have that next step up of our RounDuo happening. I'm going to go continuing around here. I've got 4 in, 4 more to do. And as you can see, this does go quickly because even though you're going a larger cab, a 24mm cab, with the RounDuos as your base, and then just doing the netting to hold it in place, it's saving you lots and lots of time of work. So we're going around. I have 1 more to kind of add in there as I go around and do that second row of the pastel lilac. And what I'm going to do to end this row is go through that second hole of the first row of my RounDuos and go through the first hole of the first RounDuo that I put on in row 2 of the RounDuo beads. So there you can see that nice little kind of bezeling effect happening already. For our next portion, what we're going to do is switch to the jet hematite. Just like we did here, we're going to add in 8 more of our beads, but this time, instead of just adding in the 8 round trio beads, we're also going to add the 11s in on the side. So you're going to add an 11, then your RounDuo rather, and then your 11. Go in then to the next RounDuo in line, and that'll sit right there along the top. So again, 11, RounDuo, 11, into the next open hole from the previous row of the RounDuo beads. Going around then, the whole way around, you're going to feed in to this design and create that baseline for the bezel. So go ahead and add that nice almost floral look, adding in your 8 of your RounDuos in the jet hematite color. As you add in the last of your RounDuo beads, I want you to come out then and go through the first RounDuo that you added in that line, and just like we did through the first one, you're going to step up by reversing the thread through the RounDuo, going from the inner hole to the outer hole. You'll see a little bit of thread exposed along the outer edge, but don't worry about that. You won't see it once we actually get in and add the crystals into the design. What we're going to do now is catch on to 4 of our RounDuo beads with 15 seed beads between each of them. So we're going every other of our hematite with 3 groups of 5, so 15 total. But you're going to think of it as 3 groups of 5. So there's 10, and I have my 15. I'm skipping over that round trio, and I'm going to, or the round duo, and I'm going to the next one. So you see it creates like a loop around. We'll catch on to the bottom round duo that is kind of sitting there as we go on and continue the design. But right now I'm going to keep going with picking up 3 groups of 5, so 15 total, between each of those 4 out of the 8 RounDuo beads. So you add them in, skip over 1, and you get that nice arching effect. So again then, I have this 2 more times that I need to create. So I have 5, and then 10. It's also easy when you think of it in the groupings to progress to the next step. You've got that in mind. Again, skipping over, going into the second one. As you go around, the most important thing to make sure of is that as you catch on to your RounDuo beads, that you are going through the second hole, and by accident not just going through that first hole. So once you have that final grouping of 15 on, you're going to go back through that first RounDuo bead, or the RounDuo, and I want you to go through the first 2 groupings of 5. So you're going to go through 10 beads total. And make sure that all of these loops stay towards the front of the design. I'm through 5 beads now, and I'm going to go through the next 5 and bring my needle out. The cabochon is going to sit then right in the middle here, and what we're going to do is bend these wires, or bend these threads in, connecting them with crystals in order to pull and hold in that cab. What we're going to do is always come out basically after 10 beads, going into the middle 5 beads. So I'm going to add in 3 of my crystals. And then as I add in my 3 crystals, we're kind of ignoring that other RounDuo. We're skipping the 5 here, the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to sew into the next 5, bring my needle out, and that creates my first little edging effect. From there, I'm going to add 3 more crystals, skip over the first 5 beads, go into the next 5 beads, and out. You can see I haven't put in my cab yet. I'll do that as I kind of get towards the end here, and that'll hold that right in place. So this is a very quick, simple netting design with these RounDuo beads. After 3 crystals go in, skip the first 5 beads, go into the next 5 beads, bring your needle out, and then you can see how it's being held in there nice and closely and creating that nice diamond effect. 3 more crystals go on. For the intersection here, skip over again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the next 5 in my row. When I go through the next 5 in the row, I will then be coming out through the 5 beads that I just started with. I'm going to go back through this central row. So everything that you just sewed through, you have your beads in. I haven't pulled my thread tight. Drop your cabin, pull your thread tight, and now you're going to reinforce this by going back through the crystals and the 5 seed beads on the inner rows that you connected into. From here then we'll step down back along the project and add our crystals along the open ends of the other RounDuo beads. Once you're around the center row again, the cab is nice and in place, and what we're going to do is start adding our crystals to the outer edge and connecting them to the other side of the RounDuos. So I'm going to take my needle and thread down those 5 beads along the side, and I'm going from the top of that RounDuo to stepping down, that we're going to be going then to the bottom hole of that RounDuo. So the RounDuos that you're already connected with, we're going to go from the top to the bottom and we're going to connect in to the bottom hole. The RounDuo that is open, we're going to connect to the outer hole. To jump from one section to another, it's just going to be using an 11, picking up one of your crystals, and an 11O seed bead. You're then going to go from the bottom hole of the RounDuo that you're coming out to the top hole of the open RounDuo along the edge. You're going to do that same thing again, 11, and then your crystal, and then your 11, and go from that outer hole of the RounDuo that's sticking out to the bottom hole of the RounDuo that is connected to your actual netting. You can see that just pops those crystals right along that outer edge. So I'm going to continue the whole way around now, adding in a total of 8 crystals to get that bling on the outside, just like it is on the inside of the cab. All you have to do then to finish up after reinforcing right along that tassel is I've sewn back through the thread line, so I'm going through my beads and making sure that I don't expose any other thread. And I'm going to get my thread and my needle right back to the section where that starter bead is. Take off the starter bead, which is nice and in the back, and especially with that Lunasoft iridescence cab in the back, you can actually make this pendant kind of reversible. Looks like a mirror to the back, and then has that nice Lunasoft purple vibrant kind of moonish look to the front. So I'm going to take off that stop bead, get these 2 beads, or these 2 thread ends tied together, and simply burn them down. Like I said, the awesome thing about this project is it is very, very quick to do. I pretty much did the whole thing on camera, and it's a short video showing you how to do these very simple steps. You can go back in then and actually make this a connection if you would want to make a connector, that you can make this into a necklace. You can do multiples and make it almost that it is a really statement piece as well. So after you tie off your thread then, I would always suggest grabbing a thread burner. If you don't have a thread burner, get one. They're awesome. Burn off the ends of your thread and then burn them down flush against the project. Once those thread ends are burned, you can grab, if you need to, your pliers, open up your jump ring or put on a bail, slide it on, and then I think this would look fun on a long piece of chain as you wear it, and it has that nice, awesome polished look that I love when you combine the crystals as well as the RounDuo beads. Again, if you need any of these materials, I'll go over with you what we used. We did the amethyst tassel, and this was the multicolored tassel. Really, you can use any sort of tassel you want. You could hang another bead down. You could even go for adding in another one below it too, so keep that in mind. The 2 RounDuo beads that I used 16 of the pastel lilac and then 8 of the jet hematite beads. The cab in the middle is going to be a 24mm cab. I have the Lunasoft here and then the resin in the turquoise swirl for my example. The Crystal Lab Fool I used in the example piece along with the Crystal Lab 2x3mm rondelles, and I switched to the Tanzanite AB when I used it in our example together. If you want to do that nice polished look, put on some wire guards. You'll have 2 of those handy, and some seed beads in 11O. I use the black full chrome seed beads. If you get a chance, you can always subscribe to this YouTube channel also if you do want to get regular updates on new designs, new ideas, and keep in mind that these products are listed below in the description of the video that you can click on to order from me at PotomacBeads.com or PotomacBeads.eu. As always, you are welcome to give me a little thumbs up if you like the video. That helps me gauge what you guys want to see, what you want to learn, and what to prioritize, as I have a long list of videos and things to make. Keep in mind you can also stay connected with us online, as well as join our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Show off the different things that you make there, get questions, get inspired, and really join an amazing community that is designed to make you a better beader and to increase your skills and to have this be an awesome, fun art. As always, thank you for watching and have fun if you get your chance to make the Ottoman Pendant. Once you're done adding in your crystals along the outer edge, we get to have the fun of using our wire guards to add our link to the top and to add our tassel to the bottom. If you want to, you can keep it plain as is and just add a seed bead bail along the top. I like the wire guard and the loop because it gives that kind of that nice polished finish look. When you're coming out of one of the corner, I'm going to do it on the corner. You can do it on the square. That's kind of up to you. I'm going to do my connection on the corner, and I'm coming out the corner of the top. And what I want to do is add 2 and 3 of my 11Os. Then I'm going to pick up one of my crystals and put that on. From there, we're going to go up through our wire guard, which is going to sit right along the top. I'm going to add my loop in, or you can add it after the fact. It's kind of up to you. So through that loop, so down the other side of the wire guard, and then I'm going to go back through my crystal bead and down. And my loop doesn't want to stay in my wire guard, so I'm going to make sure that he stays in the center of that wire guard, and we can add him after the fact. So I'm going to bring my wire guard down, making sure my thread, if you haven't worked with a wire guard, it's basically like a little horseshoe, and it has a channel for you to stick your thread in. Go back through your crystal and out. What you can do, and then the wire guards are pretty soft and pliable, you can actually pinch them with your fingers, so that way it sits nicer and tighter next to your crystal. From there, I want to add 3 more 11s, and we're going to go to the opposite side of the RounDuo that the thread's coming out of, and we're going to sew back into that same hole and out the other side. What that's going to do then is bring that wire guard and that design and that crystal right to the top, so it looks like a nice polished bail. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom, but instead of adding a jump ring, we are going to be adding our tassel. So here along the top, you can see I've come back through the project, back through the crystal, through the wire guard, down the wire guard on the other side, and down the crystal on the other side. What that's doing is giving that one more piece of thread to reinforce, since I am going to have that as my bail. Coming down then, the 3 11s on the opposite side. Sneak your needle one more pass through that RounDuo bead, and then continue along the outer line till you get to your bottom RounDuo. So when I say outer line, I'm just literally sewing right along the crystals, going from the inside to the outside. It also reinforces that little crystal line, and I'm sewing down through a bunch of those here and right along the crystal line till I get to the base. And then the cool thing about this is when I do get to the base, it's nice and easy to add my wire guard. Here I am. I'll add my wire guard right in and my 3 seed beads, and I'm going to do the same thing this time. When I do add the wire guard in though, I want to make sure that my tassel is connected, since it doesn't have a way to get it on after. And the tassel I'm using is the amethyst multicolor. So coming out of the bottom here, add on my 3 seed beads, give a little bit of that pop of crystal at the bottom, put my wire guard on, going through that first end of the loop, up through the back, down through the other side, and before sewing through the crystal, making sure that I sew through and connect my tassel down there at the bottom. Go back up through the crystal then, add 3 more seed beads, and then bring it around to the opposite side of that same RounDuo bead. Just like I did the top then, I'll reinforce going through those beads one more time and have that fun little connection there of the Ottoman, and I'll tie off the knot and finish up then having that connection piece, squeezing the wire guard and knotting off the thread at the back of the project along the starter thread.